Hey everybody, Will Davis from the Monroe County Reporter. The top story in this week's newspaper: a Forsyth couple was headed south on Highway 41 when they were struck by a hit-and-run vehicle that is still at large. A white sedan was seen trying to race across the railroad tracks at the corner of 41 and Bunn Road when the arms were already down on the train tracks, but they went past them and then ran into a car driven by Tammy Jester. She and her passenger, Tyrone Chambliss, taken to the hospital by Monroe County EMS. The driver in the sedan headed southbound on 41 toward Bolingbroke. No arrests have been made. If anyone saw anything and can help find the suspect, call 994-7048. That's the sheriff's office. See more details in this week's Reporter.
GWP Electrical Company is an up-and-coming family-owned business serving Monroe and surrounding counties. No job is too small for GWP. Residential, commercial, three-phase power, and air compressor, even new light fixtures. GWP does it all. Give them a call today.
A Monroe County Sheriff Sergeant and his K-9 unit, Zibby, narrowly escaped serious injury when their car was struck by an 18-wheeler Thursday night. The accident happened as Sergeant Kevin Williams responded to a wreck on the interstate on I-75 South with his dog Zibby in the backseat of his Tahoe, which was marked. It was on the shoulder of the interstate when a tractor-trailer came by, lost control, tried to slow down before the wreck, but was unable and slammed into and sideswiped the Tahoe, doing some damage to the vehicle. But Williams and Zibby were okay, thankfully. Sheriff's Office reminding everyone of the move-over law requiring Georgians to pull over at one lane when there's someone on the side of the interstate. See more details in this week's Reporter.
Hey Monroe County, whether you need garage floors, basements, pool decks, or driveway patios, Concrete Coatings are the ones to call. Commercial or residential, they offer a 5-year warranty. Free estimates, call today. Concrete Coatings, serving all of Middle Georgia.
Hey, chow down.
Oh, sorry. Hi, I'm Donna Wilson with this week's Monroe County Incident of the Week. A James Street man went to jail over a sandwich on August the 26th. Officer Richard Maddox responded to a dispute at a home on James Street and spoke with a man who said an argument started over a few slices of bread that he took for a sandwich. He said after making the sandwich and leaving the home, another man pushed him down the steps, causing him to nearly fall, and his sandwich got thrown into the road. Another man admitted to shoving him and was cited for disorderly conduct. He was released with a court date. See more on 6C.
Well, if you've noticed, there's about 21 new devices sticking out of the ground along the roadways of Monroe County, all been erected by the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. They're called flock cameras, and our own Steve Reese talked to Sheriff Brad Freeman to get the scoop. Some wondering if Big Brother is watching and surveilling the community. Freeman said he too had concerns and was originally against the idea of spending money to have the cameras out, but Freeman said after looking into it, he realized how many crimes had been solved by these cameras, which merely scanned the license plate. Freeman saying he's been assured that none of the information that is gathered on those cameras is stored or viewed. It is merely a way to scan license plates to help them catch fugitives who have already been identified as having committed crimes. Find out all the scoop and what Sheriff Brad Freeman has to say about concerns on privacy rights in this week's.
Meet all your glass needs right here in Monroe County. Glass Technologies, located at 8499 Riverly Road in Bolingbroke, offers in-house glass cutting, custom glass shower enclosures, residential and commercial glass replacement, and sunroofs. They specialize in residential services and provide free estimates on all their work, no matter how big or small. Give them a call, 478-993-2101, or find them on Facebook.
y'all, it's Tammy Rafferzeder with the Monroe County Reporter and this week's Everyday Hero. If there is a welcome center in High Falls, the Riverwood Thrift Shop would be it. Situated between the interstate and the High Falls State Park, the store stays busy with locals and nearby campers. Owned by Kelly Dunn, the business has been a fixture in the area since 2006. Kelly, the youngest of 8 children, came to Monroe County from Jacksonville, Florida when she was just 7 years old with her mother, June Eves, who was well known for her work with the Georgia Extension Service and for helping start the Circle of Care. She didn't start out with an education, but she continued studying and retired with a teaching degree. Kelly's first real job was working as a waitress at the Falls View Catfish House when she was just 14, and she thinks the former popular restaurant would now serve perfectly as a museum for the High Falls area. She thinks High Falls gets picked on a lot and is doing her part to make the area more than just a land of misfits. She's a single mother who is the daughter of a single mother and raised 3 sons and a daughter. She is also a certified nursing assistant who worked with hospice and home health care for 5 or 6 years. But music and the river are her passions. Although not a musician, she keeps instruments handy if one stops by. She founded the Sisterhood River Run, which now has 40 women members. The women go on kayak trips down the Talladega and Ocmulgee rivers, sometimes camping overnight along the way. Always leaving the rivers cleaner than they found them, Kelly said, "I love junk, but I hate trash." When asked what advice she would like to give to young Monroe Countyans, Kelly said, "Listen to your spirit. Follow your calling. Seek out your calling. Don't just do what everyone says you're supposed to do. Find out what your calling is." Very wise words from my dear friend, Kelly Dunn.
Hey, this is Diane Gladwell with Monroe County Reporter. This week we've got a full 32-page paper that's full of all kinds of good things going on, and then some of the not so good. But one thing is that Forsyth CableNet cut the ribbon on their building on South Lee Street. It is now open for in-person. People, you can come in and pay your bills there, ask your questions. It's got a great place that you need to wait for a while to get whatever issue you have covered. So James Bond was there. He's over the Forsyth CableNet, which is part of a bigger company, and this is the company that brings us the internet and all kinds of communications connections within Forsyth. So stop by and check them out and visit this building. It used to be Bank of America, and it used to be our Chamber of Commerce, and so it's been a real important space for the city of Forsyth.
A Flowery Branch man was taken to the Monroe County Jail after he led deputies on a chase and struck 2 vehicles as he did, even after one of his tires had been shot out. The man's suspect's name is Clarence James, 24, of Flowery Branch. He was spotted by Deputy Anthony Thompson on I-75 last week, following too closely. It was on August 31st, actually. And Thompson made a traffic stop, and the man pulled over. But as they talked, the deputy could tell that Mr. James was putting his finger on his start engine, and he began to start his car to take off. Thompson, the deputy, told the man, "No, don't do it. I'm telling you, buddy, don't do it." He did it. He took off. Thompson fired his service weapon into a back tire, which did hit, but as he gave chase, they ended up at the Shoney's exit, where the suspect ran into 2 vehicles, doing damage to both of them, and finally bailed on his car after his entire tire came off. He was riding on the rim and wound up being captured behind Shoney. See more details in this week's Reporter.
Hello, My name is Terry Johnson, and I write Monroe Outdoors for the Reporter. There are many mysteries that are still swirling around hummingbird migration. Recently, a Canadian research team reported that they think they have unlocked one of these mysteries. In this week's column, I'm going to tell you what they found and how it might impact how you view the hummingbird migration that is going on in our backyards right now. Read all about it in this week's Reporter.
In sports, in this week's Reporter, the Mary Persons Bulldogs suffer their first loss of the year to the Trinity Christian Lions from Noonan, Georgia, a 31-20 ball game. There was some good news. Senior quarterback Logan Hickman becoming the all-time career passing leader in MP history, passing J.T. Hardage, who had set the record of over 4,000 yards back in 2018. Find out the details of that and how the Bulldogs ended up losing the game due to a lot of miscues. According to Coach Brian Nelson, they made some costly errors at important times in the game. Also see our preview of this week's game, this Friday's game at Haralson County up in Tallapoosa, Georgia, up near the Alabama line. Find out how the Bulldogs may fare against the Rebels on Friday, including an interview with a writer who covers Haralson County football. Meanwhile, our full preview of the Mary Persons cross country and volleyball teams are in this week's edition. Also, the softball team getting some wins over Peach County. All that and coverage of the Monroe County Middle School football team, which got another win last week. See all the details in sports in this week's Reporter.
Monroe County loves its firearms, and there's no better place to get your firearms and ammunition needs than Red Root Defense, a small family-owned business right here in the heart of Georgia near the Jones-Monroe County line. Check them out for a full selection of firearms, ammunition, and accessories.